Welcome back again, guys. Typhus here with another episode of the FF12 Open World Randomizer. And we are starting out today at the gates of Nalbina. We'll be heading north up through the Mosphoran High Waste. There's a mark that we can defeat there. And then we'll be heading on through the Salika Wood to the Bomb King. Hopefully get through that. And then if we get through that, we can take out a mark that's north of the Bomb King, behind that in the Salika Wood as well. That one shouldn't be terribly much of an issue. Then head on to the Nebraeus Deadlands, where there's a mark hiding there, and depending on how I go, I'll probably just go to the teleport crystal and not actually go into the Necrohole. Mostly because there's a few checks in the Necrohole. There are 2 marks that live there, and about 3 bosses, including 1 Esper. However, I don't have access to the extra bosses that are in there, and defeating the Esper isn't really worth it either. I can do the marks, but I'd rather, because the Necrohole is a long and windy and a rather annoying place to go through, I'd rather do that when I can do everything. Unless I happen to get a hint from a Moogle that says that one of the 2 marks that lives in the Necrohole includes something important. Otherwise, no. Alright, nice. There's no items in here, which means we can just proceed through. The Worgans here are getting 1 shot. Now, nice 10,000 damage there from Varn. I happen to have Barsh as my main party lead, who has found the trap. Mostly because Varn is the only one with bravery. And if he's the party lead, then he's constantly stopping to cast bravery every so often, which, yeah, gets a bit boring. Barsh does know Protegga, Shelga, and Haska, but I haven't set gambits up for those ones, mostly because my party members aren't always in the same area. There is a treasure somewhere here, and because the gut versions of the buffs are AoE, it's just going to waste time. If I'm going in before what I think might be a tough boss, then I'll buff up. But until then, nothing here is posing enough of a threat to worry about buffs. I'm not going to be too thorough with trying to find chests in this area. This area's got a lot of nooks and crannies, and in a couple of the areas you can have chests that are in... You have to do floating... this weird puzzle where you do release floating plants to create platforms to higher areas, and do enough of it and you get access to one of the espers. Alright, so we'll just tap the crystal here to make sure we've got our teleport check. See what the shop here has to sell. Alright, what do we have? Well, got a better katana than those. Bows are rubbish apparently in this seed. I haven't seen a good bow whatsoever. Nothing of interest there, and half MP, but rubbish stats. Oops. No MP. I'll just take 2 of those. Both of those guys can use that, and that'll be super duper useful. Invisible to enemies who detect low HP. I cannot see where that would be useful, because either... Yeah, you'd have full HP, or they're already aggroed onto you anyways, so being invisible wouldn't do anything. Alright, just sell off all the various bits and pieces that we've accumulated. Wonder if we'll get any more bizarre goods pop up. And we do. We get Black Harness, which is another monograph. That's not very useful. So I did mention earlier that about checking hints. we'll check in with the scout here, who acts as a cartographer Moogle, and one of those guys that you can use to check your hints. Alright, so we've got 7 Sky Pirate stands. That's pretty good. Alright, so we've done the Feral Retriever. I could do the Bolito hunt if I knew that the Sunstone gave me a good check. Otherwise that one's a little bit out of the way, and I have to defeat an Esper to get to the area, I think. Black Orb 2 has the Merchant's Armband. Cannot get to that. The Overlord has the Black Orb. Has a Black Orb. That'll be super useful, and I'll bother doing that once I can actually get to Pharos, which means I need the Systems Access Key. Burrow Tube Fuse has Dull Fragment. Not super useful, as I can't get to that area, and I have no use for the Dull Fragment yet. Pinewood Chop we've done already. The Ringworm has a Lab Access card, which is a dead item. Pinewood Chop has the Grimy Fragment, which we've already done. Rearguard has the Moonsilver Medallion. I believe we've already achieved that rank. Mysteria Shadestone has the Brig Key. Well, that was literally the first check we did in the game. Hunt 23, the Overlord again, has the Sluice Gate Key. That's... I mean, you can get another check by doing the Sluice Gate puzzle. Hunt 18, Roblon. That's one that lives in the Nebraska lands. Has the Blackened Fragment. That's, at the moment, not worth going for, so I'll skip that boss. The Earth Tyrant has the Systems Access Key. Right. We will be trying to do the Earth Tyrant. We still need the Wind Globe and the Wind Vane to even do him. And no, you cannot skip ahead if you have the Wind Globe without completing the rest of the side quest. And you cannot progress in the side quest unless you have the Wind Vane. So I will be needing both items. And Anne's Letter has the Writ of Transit. So I may not have mentioned this one before. The Writ of Transit is a bit of a special item. If you have that and the Systems Access Key, you can skip the Pharos Lighthouse final dungeon. So the Pharos is, if you've played this game before, you'll remember it is a stupidly long dungeon, 99 supposed flaws of pain or annoyance, and if I can skip it, I will. By skipping the Pharos, I also do not need to have either the Sword of Kings or the Treaty Blade, and nor do I need 2 of the 3 Magicite items. Oh, there is an item somewhere here. Cool. There's the item. So, I will be trying to get that, definitely be trying to get that Writ of Transit. The Writ of Transit is also not considered a key item, which means that it can spawn literally anywhere, unlike the other key items that you need to progress the game. It's kind of just like a sort of secret bonus item. And it, like, as I said, it can spawn literally anywhere. Any chest could have it. It could be off any hunt reward, clan rank. It could be on the Order of Ambrosia or defeating Yasmat, which, yeah, that ain't happening. Yasmat I've defeated in my platinum playthrough on the PS4, but that was a long fight. That's for sure. I hate these flying things. I don't want to fight you guys, but I do want to fight this thing here. But the thing is, the Anne's Letter, that is considered an annoying side quest. That's one where you go to you got to travel on all the different airship routes and talk to all the stewardesses and deliver Anne's Letter to each and every single one of them, and then eventually, once you've done every single route, it's like 7 or 8 routes, you get Anne's Letter. It's not difficult, but it's just tedious, because you've got to remember which routes you've done, where you've gone, and optimizing the paths that you take to get from each one of them. It's just time consuming, and normally you don't get much out of it. But because it has the Writ of Transit, I will hella be doing that. I will probably also be skipping the chunk of that, because I'll show you the first and last step of that. You don't need to see all the backwards and forwardsing and loading. Right, so now we have the Salika Wood. This is a nice area. The default music in this part of the game is pretty nice, and it's got nice sound effects. Plus, most of the enemies here, aside from these little buggers, are passive. So, you can get through here without worrying too much. I will keep the mini-map up on this area because this has got a lot of winding paths. And because I'm used to following the mini-map when I'm walking through the area, I tend to get a little bit lost. Plus the paths loop back on each other, and yeah. Alright. Go through here. So, in-game lore-wise, treasure, right here. That's nice. As I said, in-game lore-wise, this area used to be the main sort of trade route between the kingdoms of like Dalmasca and Nebradia and Arcades. But with the advent of airship travel, the old land routes fell into disuse. So as you can see, like there's all these old travelers' hearts and so many walkways. But they're all just now fallen into disrepair, overgrown with moss and vegetation, overrun with monsters. There you go. You dead. Is this the route to the next area? Nope. It's just down here. So even the Fawn Coast probably would have been more of a travel route, and now the Fawn Coast is just home for bounty hunters. I'd say that area probably always had a few monsters hanging about in it. So, not going to be super hunting for treasures again. See all the nice passive enemies. I got a good setup with equipment, plus I know that the route of transit cannot be in a treasure chest anymore, so I don't even have that surprise going for it. My borrows. Alright. Clawing breath me. Oh, you... Alright, you're one hit from death. I guess I'll use Vaughn. Alright, so we'll be hunting for the Bomb King. Hey, treasure chest. Nice. That's a decent amount of gil. I'll give it that. Not that gil is much of an issue at the moment. So, yes. We'll be attempting the Bomb King. The Bomb King has a somewhat annoying trait that when you get it down to critical HP, it will almost always use Renew, which puts it at full HP. So you kind of have to run down its HP, or you have to be able to outdamage its potential to heal. Right, we've got one treasure in here. This isn't a particularly large area, so I will hunt for it. I think I see it hiding behind there, and I will switch back to Bosch, so I don't have to worry about Varn stopping every so often. And we got a second Excalibur. I did not need to buy that for 20 gil. I'm pretty sure it was 20 gil. But we've got another teleport crystal here. I'll just tap that, heal up, mostly get rid of that slow, but also, you know, have the teleport active. Right. And because this is the open world randomizer, you don't have to hunt down Moogles to progress to the next area. Alright, so we have our bomb. I see a treasure there. Hey. And just letting his cutscene play out. He's a bit derpy. And he has his friends. Alright. My guys are targeting the whatever has the highest max HP. And dead. Not even a hassle. Didn't get a chance to take over his Renew. Alright. So bomb explodes. Time to leg it away from the minions, because those minions are going to mass destruct as soon as he dies. So it is very, very possible to die as soon as the bombs despawn, right, as soon as the main one despawns, because all the little ones trigger mass destruct. Alright, so we need to go down this pathway to the left here. This will take us near the Necrohole of Nabradis entrance. We're not going in there, as I said, because it's a long and winding dungeon with a lot of aggressive enemies. They're not going to be much of an issue because I can kill them. The Bakamnis, not so much of an issue, just an absolute utter blimmin' annoyance. Also, the area is full of traps. Hello, chocobos. Bye, chocobos. I'm sorry. You weren't peaceful enough. So, somewhere down here... Have I gone the right way? Should be down in the lower areas. Oh, there's an invisible thing there. See, you can barely see it. There's an invisible frog. I'm pushing up against it. There. I'm not quite sure how to trigger him to be invisible. I guess you could reflect magic off your party members, and that should auto-target it. But he can live peacefully. And that's also not the way to the mark. So back up here. I just took one slight detour wrong. We've got two treasures here, so if we spot them, we spot them. And we should be getting close to it. See that nice red dot on the map? And hear the nice crackle of electricity? So here we have the Bray? Yeah, Bray. Sparky Horse, who, he's a late game mark, and you probably don't really remember him. He's one of the ones that I always forget exists. He doesn't really have that much interesting going for him. He's not like super hard like, say, Behemoth King or the Fafnir. He's just kind of there, and he doesn't have any really super duper unique gimmicks to him. Right, so we head back the way we came. And then we'll be heading into the Nebrius Deadlands. So he's done. We'll be handing him back in Nalbana proper. And hopefully, you know, if we get lucky, he might give us the Wind Globe. So we know we do not need to do the Roblon hunt. The Roblon hunt is in a secret area in the Nebrius Deadlands. It's not too hard to spot where the secret area is if you're not following the minimap, because it's not marked on the minimap, obviously, it's a secret area. But it's like fairly obvious that, oh, you can walk through the marshes here, and there's this pillars that look like an entranceway to something. And then you go there, and it's like, oh, sweet, secret area that's not marked. But the Roblon, that one is one of the sort of weird golem type enemies. His deal is, he's in an area that has, they're not infinite spawning, but they spawn something like 50 odd skeletons that are high level, love spamming magic, and can status affect you. Oh, hello, trap. So, yeah. Plus, you can't use the reflect magic, you can't really use magic on them. If you decide to use AoE magic, they will cast reflect on themselves, so can't do that. Alright, Bakamnis guarding the entrance here. These guys are also annoying because they will invisible themselves, which just means that, well, it doesn't mean anything, is they're slightly invisible, but you'd end up with maybe a couple more. Plus, the little buggers can steal your loot if it's on the ground. And they don't have any good loot of their own. I mean, you drop a bit of gil. I suppose the Bakamni merchant that's in the Necrohole is at least one nice one. Alright, so we walk up here, trigger the cutscene. And then we talk to the Numu who's standing here. This triggers two other sort of side quest checks that you can do later on, and you do have to talk to this dude. Do I have to talk to you again? I don't know. Alright, just double check and go through his dialogue. Cool. Just to make absolute double sure that the quest triggers. He has his two disciples that have two halves of a key which seals a greater evil that lives in the necrohole of Nabadis. One of the disciples has gone to Rabanasta, and the other one has gone into Arcades. Now the Arcades one we can do a check for. It's a little bit, hey, wave of dark energy. Not quite as good as dark matter, but I'll take that. Right, so now which is the best direction? Alright, we want to go off across the swamp. And there was one more treasure, but this area is full of mist. Alright, so we've got no treasures in here, which is nice. We've got lots of skellies though, and zombies. But not terribly, they don't really like Van's sword there. Oh, you disease. Oh, I hit a disease trap. Ooh, that's not so good. So disease is a bit of a unique status effect. I might have a serum. Do I have a serum? I have not managed to pick up a serum. Nope, that's sucks. And I don't have cleanse either. Alright, so disease means that every time you take damage, your maximum HP is set to that, whatever HP your HP becomes. So you cannot heal. Which, you can't HP. And if you revive... Oh, hey, I see a treasure. If you revive a person who's been diseased, they will have 1 HP, and that's it. That'll be their max HP. You cannot be bubbled with disease. Not that I have access to bubble at the moment, anyway. But fortunately, I'm not taking any real damage in this area, so I shouldn't have too much of an issue. I am still not looking forward to the crystal fights, so... spoiler alert. There's a very sus... Well, not very sus crystal, but... a crystal that is a bit sus in this area, which may or may not have obliterated me as a kid and caused a little bit of a rage quit, as I'm sure it has done to other people. Right, so now is the time. I didn't give you... Did I not? Whoops. Hey, I got Libra. I completely forgot that. Alright. I completely forgot that I did not give you access to these. So, what? Quick remedy that. Let's get some Protega and Shelga. And let's get some Hastiger. Forgot about those. Let's get some buffs up. This is a magic boss, so let's just stick with Shelga. And then let's get some Hastiger. Just, so we don't... Alright, and we'll just zone so that I don't have to reapply my buffs if I die. Not when, if. May not die. Van should be able to out-damage this thing. Alright, and you talk to what you think is a nice teleport crystal, and it turns out to be... it's a trap. It also only got 1 attack off, so... yeah, that sword is doing work. Alright, we've got teleport. Alright, so now we will be going to... I'm just going to very quickly double check where the where the Atomos is handed in. Because I'm pretty sure he's in Mosforan High Waste, but he might be one of the ones that is in Nalbana. Alright, Nalbana Fortress. Okay, cool. He's in Nalbana. Okay, it's the Bray that's in the Mosforan. I knew one of them was in Mosforan. Alright, so we need to go... Mosforan? hand in Bray. Hope Bray is good. Yes, they were very funny naming the horse-type monster Bray. Alright, so we got Vakana here. Vakansna. Over here is the Bray. We get Berserker Braces and the Stone of the Condemner. Well, that Stone of the Condemner is... Ooh, was that one a useful one? That's one that I'd have to double check. There's quite a few stony things. I think that one's one that's actually not at all remotely useful. Alright, Nalbana, where did you go? There you are, Nalbana. It's actually kind of good to know, just thinking about it, that the system's access key is on the Earth Turret rather than the Writ of Transit, because that means that the Wind Globe and the Earth Globe shouldn't be too difficult to get a hold of. So it's supposed to be an easy difficulty, which means that you shouldn't have to super duper high tier, hello Burrow, high tier stuff. Potentially. Alright. So we've got you handed in. Oh yeah, and the little cutscene with Jovi. If you do, there's like 4 hunts in Nalbana area where when you do each of them, you get a little cutscene with Jovi. Oh, hey, Wind Globe. Well, that's a good one. So that's nice. We've got 2 parts. One of the 2 parts that we need to be able to get the system access key. Well, and I do still actually need to go back and do the very, very first check in the quest for the Wind Globe, which is go talk to the guy that's chilling in Lowtown, and then talk to the Dynas Cactus that's in the Wester Sands. But I think that will do for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, type this out. Right, so one little addendum to the episode. I was looking at the inventory stuff just after I finished recording, and then I looked at what the Berserker Braces have. So, attacks have no charge time. Yeah, I know, and anyone can equip that. I know who is going to have that, and so it will not matter what sort of combo rating you have. Well, not really. Varn is just going to be attack with no ATB charge. You know, just in case he wasn't broken enough. Alright, goodbye for now.